Welcome to MargaritaSays, and I'd like to dedicate this video to the great Bobby Fischer. I used to study chess as a little kid and I was getting good at it. I think I was like around 8 or 9 and I studied books, and then every time I would play and if I would lose, I would just cry, and it was very hard for me losing, and I kind of gave up. And I regret it because I think it's a great game, and I think what chess taught me is that losing is very, very important. That's how you become a better player. But I think it's an amazing game. It teaches you about strategy. It teaches you about sort of also psychology. I think it's important. Like, for example, if I play with a very strong player and I see that they're winning, then my strategy changes. Instead of trying to win, I'm just trying to kill as many figures as possible, so at least I can bring it to a draw. So it's just, and it's amazing when you play with other people online that you never meet. Somehow you get to know them a little bit, their personality, because some players are very aggressive and some players are very cautious, and it's an amazing game. So one of the things I learned is to lose gracefully, and to just, okay, losing and then next game, and that's how you get better. So that's one thing. But back to Bobby Fischer. I grew up in the Ukraine, as you know, and of course Soviet Union was very, very famous for chess. I mean, everyone played chess. Everyone did music, everyone did figure skating. I mean, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people, because it was free. And in other words, everyone could have joined it. But what the difference between Soviet Union at the time and the United States, that you could join, but then eventually they might not accept you because you're not good enough. And for example, when I auditioned to be a figure skater, they did not accept me. I was only 3 years old. They looked at my body and they said, we don't see any potential that she can become a world champion. And they take only kids that they think have a great potential. I did not explore chess, but I remember I joined the ballet, and they also did not want to accept me because maybe I was a little bit overweight, by the age of 4, and they want a certain body, very athletic body and thin. But finally they accepted me after many, many tries, and then I moved to Kiev, so I had to abandon, and then I tried in Kiev to do ballet, and they did not accept me there. And it just I tried gymnastics, but I was too scared. And so the difference between Soviet Union and I guess the United States at that time when I was a kid is that they have to accept you, and they only accept you if they see the potential that you're going to become someone big in that area. Otherwise they feel like it's a waste of time to train you. Chess machine is a big machine in the Soviet Union. It was a very popular game. Whenever Karpov and Kasparov would play, the whole Soviet Union would watch it. I mean, it was huge, and everyone would follow chess. I mean, almost every person knows how to play chess. Everyone's pretty good, and I think Soviet Union was held the world championship for 40 years until Bobby Fischer came and he took it from them, from the whole machine. So this one little boy from Brooklyn took the whole machine down, and it's a huge accomplishment. And I think I just want to show that it's like one of those impossible things that happened, because in the United States chess was not as popular, and we didn't have government programs and government investing money into chess, where in Russia the government invested money into chess, and it was to show the world that we're the smartest and we have the best people. So it had a lot of political value. And Bobby Fischer fascinates me because no one asked him to do chess. He's this little kid that started studying chess since the age of 6, and he was his mother she used to work a lot. I think she had she was a single mother with 2 kids, and she would go out and she would be out all day, and Bobby Fischer would be at home all day and he would be studying chess, and sometimes it would be 12 hours a day. And so by the age of 9, I think he started playing really, really good, and by the age of 12 he started getting noticed. Bobby Fischer is full of contradictions and full of paradoxes, and I think that's why I like him, because he shows to you that human beings are very, very complex. There's many, like almost like a diamond, there's so many different sides to a human being. So when Bobby Fischer became a citizen of Iceland, he was traveling from Japan to Iceland in a private plane with some friends. This is when he was much older. This is almost, I think this is 90s, and shortly after that he died. And one of the people on the plane asked him questions about chess, to which Bobby replied, "I hate chess." "Why do you hate chess?" the other asked. "Because I know what chess is all about. I know everything about chess, and I hate it." And then, the other person says, "But chess is about creativity, and it's about talent." And here's Bobby Fischer says, "No, creativity is down the list. It's all about calculation and memorization, and then down the list, creativity." So I thought that was very, very interesting, because it shows you that there's a lot of work into it. And it's almost like when I watched documentary about Richard Feynman, and how he was such a playful character, and he played bangos, and he was a jokester. When he was a little kid and he was fixing radios, this guy brought him a radio, and it's pacing back and forth for 10 minutes, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm thinking. I'm fixing radios by thinking." And so he was a great showman, but underneath that, everybody knows that Richard Feynman was a very, very hard worker, and he studied very hard. He was excellent at mathematics and physics. And so it's almost like the same thing with Bobby Fischer. Like, yes, talent, creativity, but there's a lot of work that goes behind it. If you want to be good at something, it's a lot of work. When I watch interviews with Bobby Fischer, I can't help but notice intelligence and wisdom and the mind of a genius, uniqueness, and his determination and discipline. And of course, I notice loneliness, I notice paranoia, I notice the mental illness. I do not understand how could a Jewish person hate Jewish people the most, because Bobby is Jewish. I think Bobby was handsome. He was intelligent, and he was rich. And he was very interesting. And how such an intelligent, handsome, talented, interesting guy could not fall in love and could not find a soulmate. And in fact, he did find a soulmate, somebody that he fell in love with when he was 47 years old. Life of Bobby Fischer poses great questions about life. Is it possible to be great at something and at the same time be a balanced man, a family man, and a happy man? Or great achievement requires great sacrifice? Is it possible to be great and have great friends, great family, have real life love by your side? To be great requires many hours of work and practice, and sometimes in solitude. How can you focus for hours on one thing to the point of obsession and then switch gears? I want to point out about Garry Kasparov, who's an amazing player, also considered one of the best chess players in the world, but he's a balanced man, and he's an example. Like, he has many interests, and when I read about him, he does exercises. Bobby Fischer exercised too, but I think this Garry Kasparov was more balanced, where he had time with his family, he had time for vacations, he has time to study chess, but that's not going to be his whole day. He's going to have time for other things. And definitely in awe of Bobby Fischer, because he was a boy from Brooklyn who lived very poor, and no one pushed him to study chess. Bobby started to study chess since 6 years old, sitting by himself, studying something up to 12 hours a day. Bobby had an amazing stamina. So I want to dedicate this video to Bobby Fischer, to the great Bobby Fischer, and it's a great story with a sad ending, but I think we should try to learn from it and maybe understand that people that become the paranoia and that everyone is out to get them. I mean, obviously it's mental illness, and so I don't think it's real Bobby Fischer. I think it's someone who was coping with the mental illness and he didn't know how to get help.